Chapter 5. Remind yourself continuously that others near you are hurting inside. Everyone is hiding something. It is not always because of deception. Neither are they trying to cover up something important. Our wounds are simply private. The things that make us cry often embarrass us. When a wife has received a harsh look from her husband, the pain goes too deep to discuss. When the husband hears the acid words from the love of his life, he comes apart inside. Yet he cannot afford to show it. Neither can she. Nobody wants to look weak. So every effort is made to shield ourselves, protect ourselves from the prying and often critical opinion of others. So nobody really sees how much you hurt. I try to remind myself of this continuously. I fell a lot in it. Sometimes, if someone seems a little arrogant and aggressive, I will tend to confront them on that turf. I do not mind confrontation since I think I am right most of the time, but they are thinking they are right also. Here is the problem. You do not really know what is going on in another person's mind. Therefore, it is important to continuously remind yourself that others have painful experiences that they are not discussing with you or anyone else. Their decisions about everything are being made to avoid the continuance of that pain, thus repeating their failures, so they will not make decisions totally based on what you are saying. Your conversations, they are making decisions to move away from pain. Every decision is to move away from perceived pain. Every decision is presumed to be an escape to pleasure away from that pain. When I remind myself of this, I am more gentle with people, more understanding, less critical and harsh, far more patient than I would normally be. You see, I want people to be patient with me too. One of the secrets of the journey is to continuously remind yourself that others are going through trials you cannot see. They are crying tears you have never felt. They are feeling isolated and rejected in ways you cannot imagine. Don't become another burden to them. Become the burden barrier. When you telephone someone, ask yourself, am I calling to add to their burden or to remove it? When you write a letter, ask yourself, am I becoming another burden on their burden barrier? Maturity is the ability and willingness to bear the burdens of others. Many years ago, I was in Fullerton, California. The place was full of people, but the service seemed very uptight and tense. Something was wrong. I almost became belligerent and told the people something every young evangelist normally tells the people. If you don't like what I'm preaching, stay home. The door swings both ways. I don't have to be here myself. I can leave town if I want to. I'm going to preach this gospel no matter what you say. I'd rather preach under a tree by myself than compromise this gospel. Blah, blah, blah. But someone restrained me, the Holy Spirit. After church, I discovered the reason for the terrible, deathly atmosphere of the service. One of the main board members of the church had suddenly dropped dead that afternoon, yet his entire family had chosen to come sit in the service that night rather than go to the funeral home. They were so desperate for God to speak a word of comfort and strength to them, they came to the crusade. Had I said what I felt, I would have doubled their pain and heartache. Someone is always going through something you have not discerned. Listen to the Holy Spirit. Become intuitive. Nothing is ever as it first appears. Why did I remain composed and focused during the service, even though the church atmosphere was like death? I remembered reading a statement by a great preacher. He said every young preacher should always remember that on every pew sits at least one broken heart. Heal it. You will meet many people today. Many need kind words desperately. Everyone hurts somewhere inside. Most will not tell you about it, so wrap your words with healing oil. You are their healer sent by God. You may be the only healer that crosses their path during their lifetime. When you concentrate on the needs of others, God will focus on your needs, knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth, the same shall he receive of the Lord, whether he be bond or free. Ephesians 6:8. Remind yourself continuously that others near you are hurting inside. That is one of the secrets of the journey.